Hi everyone, I'm Akila. In this video, let us see how to use variables in SSIS package. I have added another package in this folder. We have created dim country load package and dim salesperson load in our previous video. Please have a look how to load the dimensions data using the slowly changing dimension. So in this fact sales DTSX, let me show you the data and data table. This is sales data load. Okay. Before I write my ETL, let me show you the data of the sales data table. So this is the data in a CSV, comma separated file. And this is our database table, which we created in the SQL server. So we need to come up with an SSIS package to extract the data from the CSV file and load it into this database. So let me also show you the path where this file is. So under this fact, I have sales data CSV file. Okay. So let me load this data into the SQL and then I will show you the usage of the variables. Now here we know the data is CSV file. It means flat file source. So let me name it as get sales data, edit, new connection manager, get sales data, connection manager, browse sales data. So yes, this is the data preview. Okay. Okay. Now, and we know that we need to add some data conversions because from as the data is from CSV file, everything is considered as non-Unicode strings. So ID is an integer. So let me select 4-byte signed integer. Salesperson ID and country is also is an integer. So let me select 4-byte signed integer. So I'm converting the CSV file data. The name I need to convert into Unicode string DTSTR. Date, I need to convert it as a proper date, DT date, and amount in the database is considered as currency. So this one, I'll give 25. Okay. So just for verifying, I'm showing you the columns. See, ID is int, name is nvarchar, date is date, amount is money, salesperson and country are int. Because these two are foreign keys from the dim salesperson table and dim country. Perfect. Now, let me load this data into the database. Let me use the existing connection manager for the database. Select the table, fact sales data. Under mapping, I may need to map all the new columns. I haven't updated the column name, right? So it is giving us default name. Copy of ID, copy of name, copy of date, copy of amount, copy of salesperson, copy of country. Okay. Control yes, save, execute. If I execute this package, we know that the SSIS package will go to the Excel, the flat file source connection manager and gets the path and reads the file and load it into the database. Okay. But if the path changes, let us execute this query in database and show you. Suppose if I introduce one more layer under this, let me create one more folder. Test, enter, and let me put the sales data in this folder. So now path has been changed. So if I run my package, what happens? Let us go back, stop the execution. Yeah, run it again. We'll see what happens. My input file has been changed, right? So this flat file connection manager could not find the file like sales data in respective setting, and it has failed. So that's why to instead of going updating these configurations again, we can use the variable so that when we deploy or when we move from one location to another location, I mean file path, it will be easy for us to update the file path or folder path. That file will be extracted or picked correctly, and our SSIS package will not fail. See, in the control flow, in an empty space, when I right click, you can see there is a variable option in this. I am creating or adding a new variable. I am saying that sales data file path. I'm naming this variable some meaningful name. What is this variable? This variable will hold the path for the sales data file. And path is a string, right? Obviously, it has numbers, alphabets, and all. So consider it as a string. Now I have to copy the file path and put it in under this value. So go back to the folder path under test. Under test, I have this path, right? Sales data.ttx. So how is this path? Let me type this sales data.txt, control C, go to my Visual Studio, paste it here. Okay. Now let me type the file name as well, sales data.txt. Sales data.txt. Closing this file. Yeah. Now close this. Fine. Now go to the data flow, control yes, so that it will save all the tabs under this package. For this particular flat file source, we have come up with the connection manager, right? So right click on this connection manager, click properties. So we know that we have created a variable under this expressions. Select the property connection string. This is see here, there's a connection string, right? This connection string is actually taking the file path. Instead of manually entering the file path in this, I want the path to be inserted from the previously created variable. So I'm using this, use this expression, whatever we have created just now, the variable, sales data file path variable with the file path, right? As a value. Please use that value for this connection string. See above here. Click OK. Now close this. Execute. We know that previously it has failed, right? Because as file moves to new layer, test folder. See, now it has considered the variable path and it has passed all 11 rows. If I go to my SQL, I should see all the 11 rows, 15 rows. Okay, already data is there. We haven't truncated, right? So that's why it is showing double. There is no primary key declared for this fact sales table. So what I'll do, I'll go to my control flow. I will add an execute SQL task to truncate the data before I execute this ETL. I'm using the existing connection manager and coming up with the query. Truncate table. What's the table name? Fact sales data. Okay. Click OK. After this truncation, then please execute the ETL. Control yes. I'm just executing without any changes in the backend. So I should see only this 11 records in the database, right? Yeah, execute. See, I'll see only this 11 records in the database. Fine. Now, we know that the variable is declared in this control flow, right? When we deploy this project into SQL Server, I should able to modify this path. That's why we have parameters here. So what it same like variables, it will just take some name, data type, and value. If we give some file path under the parameter, these parameters can be accessed globally from the SQL server. So the path whichever you entered in the SQL server will be taking over like overwritten for the this default parameter value and pass it to the variable. We'll see that in the next video. Thank you.